Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stereotypical Podcast. We talk about anything and everything. I'm here with Tyler and I guess a special guest. If she wants to introduce herself.
I'm a special guest. My name is Ashley Francis. What? That's it, right?
What do you do?
What do I do? I do life, Tyler. I do life. Nah, dog. I don't do life. I have my own podcast. I'm a podcast host. I host my own podcast, and it is a really good podcast.
Yeah.
I like the plug. What is the name of the podcast?
My podcast is called The Passion Podcast, and it is basically where I try to connect with individuals that have found passion or purpose in careers or hobbies or side hustles, and I just have them talk about that, and it's really simple. Yeah, that's about it. It's really easy.
All right, sounds good. I guess I should let Tyler introduce himself. I figured I would let her go first, though.
And I don't know if I even need to introduce myself anymore, right? I feel like that if people are listening now, they definitely know who you and I are. So.
No, Tyler, it's new for every single person that ever joins.
Following the bit from last week, the real Tyler died last week, and now all three of us are AI generated voices. Not Ashley, she's not AI, but we planned so far ahead that this AI version of me knows what to say.
Yeah, it's just all three of us are, the running bit is all three of us are dead now, and it's just AI generated text and conversation.
It's really good AI. Who's your programmer?
It was
Chat GTP.
Yeah, I would know what it is. So
yeah. Well, do you want to go first, Brandel, for asking the questions?
I guess so. Sure. I guess so, since I already started poking and prodding here. How long have you been doing this podcast?
Okay, I've been doing this since February. Scratch that.
February.
March was my first episode, but I've been planning it since like this February of 2023.
So you've been planning this well before ever starting it then. Do you like to be organized in that regard, like months in advance, weeks in advance, or do you just a couple days?
Type of anxiety is very plan oriented, so I usually like to have episodes or reach out to people months and months and months in advance and then schedule something. But when I was planning this podcast, it was probably early February 2023, where I was just sitting, I think on like a random Sunday, and I wasn't feeling I don't even know. I wasn't really feeling myself that year, and I wasn't really feeling like, I'm feeling fulfillment in my everyday routine, and I need to be doing something productive with my time. That's when I feel success is with productivity. So I was like, what's something that I like to do? What is something that I feel like I'm good at? What is something that's relatively cheap? Because I'm very poor. And what's something that I could feel that sense of fulfillment? And that is when I came up with my podcast idea.
That's a great idea. And it's a good way to help fill the creative side of things in your brain, I feel like. So how many episodes do you have released currently? Then since you started in March,
yeah,
I'm curious
so currently
how many
within that time period, I have 18 episodes. I did take about a month break because life got very crazy for me, but within those few months, I have about 18.
I see. Okay. Well, that's awesome. I really like that. For us, Tyler introduced me to him doing historical quarrels and all this, and it really intrigued my brain. I recently have been hyperfixated on podcasts as a whole, and so I've been listening to a lot I don't know if you ever heard of like Distractable or Go, My Favorite Sports Team. They're very popular content creators amongst YouTube specifically. And then there's more off subjects or like really, I guess raunchy is a good way to put it. If you've heard of Two Bears, One Cave with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. But it's crazy how much more I enjoy listening to all these people and their lives and all these topics and subjects. And I realized, was this the shortest noticed for you for joining a podcast or like ask, you know what I'm saying? Because you just said that you'd like to have it planned out in weeks in advance. And I remember Tyler texting me about this just last week.
This is my shortest turnaround, but this is also my first time being a guest on a different podcast. So congratulations. But yeah, I do love just interacting with people. I'm a pretty big extrovert, so I like being involved in the process of creativity, whatever that is. And you mentioned a few of my personal favorite podcasts. I adore Distractable and Go, My Favorite Sports Team. But I think the idea of a podcast came from being a fan of other podcasts. So, of course, I'm a white female living in America, so I love true crime. So my true crime girlies out there will know Morbid and Park Predators and Crime Junkie and National Park After Dark is another one that I adore. Killer Psyche and The Deck, and those are all just the ones that I listen to on like a weekly or bi-weekly basis. But Distractable and Go are probably my favorites. And then I actually want to tell you guys about this one that I've heard of that I found about a year ago that I think would be really fun just to listen to. It's called Opinionated. Have you ever heard of Opinionated? They do movie reviews. And I found them a few years ago when they were talking about the first Dune movie. But they're just like a bunch of like 4 or 5 guys that get together and talk about movies. And I absolutely love it. And they're hilarious. So shout out to Opinionated. They need more love.
No, that sounds good.
That's awesome. That sounds like something else I need to binge and watch right now. Because I'm currently caught up with Distractable and Go, and this within like a couple months of me listening to them pretty much every day. It was super easy just to throw in while I was cleaning or doing other stuff amongst the house or going into work. And it's, and podcast has made it a good outlet for me. And so when Tyler brought up us starting this podcast, it helped me have another outlet of creativity, because I feel like I've been kind of stagnant in day-to-day life. You just kind of get into these habits and routines, and sometimes it can feel a bit stale when you don't have any other interests that pique your interests at the moment.
It's like, Ashley, you and my wife need to get together and hang out, because like all of those true crime ones you mentioned, she loves. So
it's just what we do.
Yeah,
us wives will get together and talk about true crime, whatever.
Plotting murders,
trying to kill your husbands.
Oh yeah. How you would have done it better.
What an amateur. I would have done way better.
Yeah. Gosh, it's like they don't even listen to true crime.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Do you have any more questions, Brandon?
No, I mean, if you want to take over and see if you have anything else you would like to add.
So what made you go along the lines for what people are passionate about? Like what made you pick that topic? I know you talked about in like one of your episodes where you just like talking to people, but did you have like a process when you were coming up with the idea, or I don't know, just like how did you end up with the Passion podcast and like your topic that you're doing?
Okay. It's a little bit of a longer story, but I'll try my best to make it very brief. So when I was about a year married, my husband, we lived in Utah for that first year of our marriage, and he was graduating. So we were applying to grad schools all across the country. And at the same time, I was getting ready to kind of finally pick a major. And I used to sing all through high school, all through junior high. I took opera lessons. I was really proficient in German and French and Italian. And I was getting ready to audition for my local university's vocal performance program as an undergrad. So I was prepping for that while he was prepping to do grad schools, both locally and out of state. And I got in. And then a few days later, my husband got into his dream school that was out of state. So we had to choose, basically, are we going to stay in Utah so I can go do my undergrad, or should we move out of state so my husband can get his master's degree? And we ultimately decided that if, he's hopefully going to make a lot of money, so the breadwinner should probably be getting the higher education he needs to do that. Mm-hmm. So I decided to sacrifice what I wanted for the betterment of our future, which was really hard, honestly. So I was feeling kind of lost in my purpose because my passion for singing was ultimately, I don't want to say taken away, but just put on the side for now while we try to do something a little bit bigger. So I just needed, besides, my part-time job and what I did during my free time, I felt like I needed something a little bit bigger, something that can still bring me a lot of joy, something that was relatively cheaper than vocal lessons, and that would still kind of fill that void. And I was having a hard time finding out what that was. So I did a lot of research. I wanted to do maybe dog grooming school, maybe cosmetology school, maybe nail school, maybe I'll nanny, maybe I'll do this or that. And I just was having a hard time finding my passion. And there's this quote, I don't know, I'm going to paraphrase it, I'm not going to be able to find it, that was basically, you find your passion by listening to other people's passionately talk about theirs. In a way, that's kind of what it is. So basically, passion sparks in other people as well as it does in you. If you ever sit down with someone and just get them talking about what they love, that energy is so connected. You get really excited, even if you have no idea what it's about, which has happened a lot of times on my podcast. I have no idea what the person is talking about, but you get them in that space, that zone, and it's so contagious.
Yeah.
These guys have known me long enough where they hate it when I do that, so they're a little bit worried whenever it happens, but I gotta agree with you.
Well, come on my podcast. It's a safe space.
I mean, if I were to turn on my camera right now, Tyler and Brad will tell me that I need to be on yours.
Sounds good.
Yeah, this.
Also, welcome.
Thank
you for joining us.
Nice to meet you.
I apologize for me being late. You know how it goes. Sometimes you wake up and you just can't be satisfied until a underpaid Chipotle worker tells you that guac is extra. and unfortunately, the line at Chipotle was long because everyone apparently woke up needing that satisfaction today. So I apologize.
It's Chipotle.
Dude,
oh, you're good.
Dude,
it's all right.
Chipotle started doing Al Pastor, and it's delicious.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit.
For Chipotle, anyway.
Okay. I mean, is it better? Would you say it's getting to the level of Don Joaquin's or not even on the same scale?
I don't think Don Joaquin's is the best pastor.
Pretty good.
The way that I think I would rate it would be Chipotle. Don Joaquin's is a bit better. Then at the top, it's anywhere where the building looks like it's falling down. No one speaks English. It's 1 billion degrees inside. There's a skull at least on a single wall.
Okay.
And there's a mural of Goku wearing a sombrero on the outside. That is peak Pastor.
That is true. Yeah, okay. That's how you know it's good stuff. Well, so Ashley, we do all three of us have ADHD. So again, like I just want to remind you about like how off the rails we'll get. So yeah. But anyways. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead, Braden.
I was going to say like manically shit idiot brain fungus.
It's yeah. Okay, but no, that's I liked your story about that though, Ashley. Sorry, back on the topic.
Goku wearing a sombrero on the outside. That is peak Pastor.
That is true. Yeah, okay. That's how you know it's good stuff. Well, so Ashley, we do all three of us have ADHD. So again, like I just want to remind you about like how off the rails we'll get. So
manic.
Yeah. But anyways.
I was going to say like
no, go ahead.
manically.
Go ahead, what were we going to say?
Manically shit idiot brain fungus.
It's yeah. Okay, but no, that's I liked your story about that though, Ashley. Sorry, back on the topic. And just so Braden knows, I'll probably edit this part out. We were gonna like make a joke about you just being very quiet, or like we're gonna shit on you for joining in late.
I can't talk to women, so the fact that we had one on the podcast, it just completely shut me up.
Yeah, he was really scared.
I was terrified.
Nervous.
I was terrified.
You that effect. It's okay.
Yeah.
I was attached to it, right? I was so tempting in high school.
I know, right? Improv every day.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Ooh, Ashley, ooh.
Ooh, woo.
Like back in high school when I used to say ooh, woo every other word.
Yeah, I think you don't deserve anything in life. You did that.
More. I need more to face me.
More.
Yeah, you like the degradation, or what's the word?
Yeah, degradation.
Yeah.
That's not the word. That's okay.
Yeah.
No.
Is it not the word? So. What is it? Is it disparagement?
Deprecation.
Thank you.
Like self-deprecation. He like the. It's degraded.
Yeah. There you go.
No, it's degraded.
Yeah, but like degraded. But I thought there was an action.
Hold on.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Mama's got Google.
I don't know.
Like what is the dictionary thesaurus form of to degrade?
I thought it was degradation, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm bad at English.
It's just degraded.
Dang. It's just degraded.
Well,
I just made up a word. Okay, don't worry about it.
It worked. You know, English doesn't have rules. Okay, Shakespeare broke all.
I'm more impressed with the fact that you guys still understood what I was trying to get at with that.
After X amount of years hanging out with you, I can usually tell what you mean.
It's okay.
Fair enough.
It's okay.
Okay, I guess. Sorry. So I guess we should get back to what she was talking about.
Yeah.
Before I so rudely interrupted.
No, I'm good talking about being degraded or degradation.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, How do you think that happened?
Who's got two strokes and wants to be bullied? This guy.
This white guy.
Or hit by a bus too. Whatever
man.
works for Tyler.
Oh gosh, I got ran over.
Truck, lightning.
Well, the lightning struck by me and then singed my clothes. That was. Yeah. God had it out for me in high school. Like, trying to kill me, man.
You look like?
Yeah, no, it's Aphrodite and Athena creating the spaced her name, but the Spider Woman or the Weaver. Well, I guess
Yeah.
you'd be closer to Narcissus.
You lost me there, dude.
I don't know. Greek mythology, man. It's all Greek
just
to me.
mythology. Just Greek mythology. Do you watch the Mythology Guy on YouTube?
No. Is it called Mythology Guy or?
Yeah, it's called The Mythology Guy, and he did like a Greek historian watches Hercules and like points out every single thing that's historically inaccurate with it, and then he did it with like the Percy Jackson series and like what's the one like God of War. He did it with God of War. He did a few things like that where he just like points out all the inaccuracies with it.
Yeah. Like whenever
game.
Whenever I'm staring at Kratos' glistening abs, the only thing that I'm worried about is if it's accurate or not.
Maybe one day you too can achieve his abs.
I have my 6-pack back, but the problem is it's because I lost weight, not put on muscle. So like every time I see myself in the mirror, I'm like, "You're fake. This is fake. This is it's not real.
Not
you didn't
real.
earn this."
Skinny 6-packs, man. Those are the weird. Oh man, I remember that. And then I remember trying to just work out and actually put on muscle. And then, I was like 140 soaking wet. And that was sad.
Oh, yeah, people kept coming up to me.
Years. I need my memory it's been a while. My husband's a personal trainer. He can make you look like him.
Maybe. I don't know. Can he defeat laziness and dad bod?
Here's the thing. When I say my husband's a personal trainer, let me upload a picture of him. He is teeny weeny itsy bitsy track and field guy.
Does he wear a yellow polka dot bikini?
I mean, he'd look good in it, but like he's not 6-pack rippling abs. He's slim and sleek because he's a track and field and cyclist boy. He's not.
That's what he does.
Oh, and he's got short king status. So that's my man.
Yeah,
that's my boy. Look at the screen. Is that your man? That's my man. I'll upload a picture. Did you guys not know that meme? Everyone went quiet when I said it.
Which one?
I did not know that meme.
Look at the screen. Is that your man?
Yeah.
That's my man.
Begging me. He's on a horse.
No. All right, here he is.
Oh,
the little ginger. Sorry, I can't use the hard R. Ginger.
Yeah, you have to say ginger.
Yes,
you can only say ginger.
That's my little boy.
What have you guys been uploading? I just looked up the general chat and it's all like nut sex.
If you came on time, you would know we were talking about how gerbils and hamsters, like their ratio to body to ball sack is skewed.
Oh yeah,
all for that body.
Yeah. Oh, like their head, like if you look at an echidna, their head to penis ratio is screwed.
No, ducks. Ducks have like corkscrew peepees.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
To the chat.
What?
I think
if we threw a duck in liquid nitrogen, would we be able to use it as a wine bottle opener?
I don't think they're that corkscrewy. They're just a little screwy. Hold on.
No, they're pretty corkscrewy.
They're like intestine. Whoa.
Yeah.
This is on my search history. Remember when I said I didn't want dog peepees on my search history? Now I have duck peepees on my search history.
Well, like one is a little less. One is a little less FBI.
Well,
I got a
bestiality than the other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mom comes in. I thought you said you were a furry. Get the fuck out of my house.
Exactly. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So.
I tried.
No, you're good.
Tried.
You're good. Yes, try. We just
Do
have to try.
better,
Do
try
better.
harder.
As Ashley said. Okay. Anyways, back to the main topic. I'm totally leaving in quite a bit of that little derailment.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyways, so I really liked your story, Ashley. What I wanted to follow up before we got sidetracked was, so based off of that, has what? Gosh, sorry, I'm thinking about duck penis still. It's
I
Always
didn't even make a joke. You just admitted it.
Yeah. So what do you think about duck penis?
I think that with the right womb, it would be very exciting.
Yeah.
But I'm
Probably.
not a female ducky, so I'm not the right womb for that.
You would.
That is
We'll
true.
put it this way: it's shaped like that for a reason.
The
right?
amount of
Was it?
lube you would need.
No lube, sweetheart. Wrong.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I don't think she'll need it. I'm just saying. I don't think she'll need it. Just saying.
Anyways, okay. Back on topic. I swear.
Yeah.
The show is semi-professional.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You
It's
had
really
one
not.
of your hosts come in like 35 minutes late. You were not
yeah,
denying
you got a point
anything.
there.
Okay.
To be fair, you guys started an hour earlier than I thought we were thinking. So,
Brayden, I texted you. You saw the Snapchat. I saw that you saw it, and I think you just didn't read it. Where I was like, "Hey, we're gonna start at 5.
You can't use
Does that work for you
Snapchat.
guys?"
This
And
isn't 2014. No one uses Snapchat. No one uses Facebook. No one uses Snapchat.
Really? Snapchat's not being used? Is that?
actually, I've been
Not
forced
really.
to
You
get
gotta
back
use
into
X.
Facebook.
Or Threads. I'm just kidding. Use
Yeah,
X or Threads. All your
Oh my god!
I've been forced to get back into Facebook.
I've been forced because I don't know what agency is.
Well, like, excuse me, you tried to look at plant purges and reptile auctions and not have a Facebook, okay?
Yeah, if you're gonna go to Reptile Expo, you have to have a Facebook. That's true.
No, you absolutely do. You have to have a Facebook, you have to have a morph market. Like,
Sounds like you got it all planned out, Brayden.
Wait. Side part. In high school, my senior year, I worked at a what's the word? I worked at an exotic pet store. So I ran my store's Reptile Expo twice.
which shop was it? Scales, Animal Art?
Animal Art.
I was in that.
Okay.
I was in that place all the time,
I worked
Like-
there my senior year, dog.
dude. Shit.
Shit,
Were you?
big spiders? Yeah, I got big spiders. I'm not opening their cages, but I got them. And then we had the little spiders in like film capsules. And every single time I would try to water them, you spritz them with mist, they would climb out on my fingers and I would say bad words and then I would get written up for it. Yeah, so I
Really?
refused to do any
Yeah.
of the arachnids in the store because I could not be trusted.
Were you working there before Mike became the new owner, or was that before?
Was it before or before? It was before.
Before or after? Okay.
I was still there when What's Her Face was the owner. But Mike was my manager for the few months I worked there.
Yeah.
So Mike was my friend, and then my brother was actually a co-manager for several years, and then he quit because Mike and my brother didn't get along.
Yeah, that happens.
Mhm.
So
Mike-
I have many memories there. I mean, he turned it into I walked in there pretty recently. It's totally just a saltwater fish store now. He has
you're
all
thinking
of
of
those.
you're thinking of the AF one, right?
No. Last time I was there, it was a few years ago, but it was full of the saltwater plants that you could use to terrascape your fish tanks. And that was it. I was like, what the? There's still of course, the dogs and the cats, but most of the free space has been overloaded with just the saltwater plants.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
Cheaper, maybe.
that's because Mike
I know
likes his
why.
plants.
I know why. He became owner, and then he's like, I'm just going to turn this into my hobby store now. And because he used to teach like terrascaping for your fish tanks, like how to decorate them for like a multi-ecosystem fish tanks.
Yeah.
So he would have like live plants, and he would run like design courses, quote unquote, for how to like decorate your fish tanks with live stuff. And now like the whole half of the store that used to be dog food is now like plants.
Yeah, it's because in his backyard, he decided he wanted to get into bonsai trees. So his backyard is just a full acre of bonsai trees. Yeah.
Have you ever been to his house?
Yeah, I've seen his backyard. Yeah.
Yeah. He has like a desert tortoise under his staircase. He's like that crazy with it.
Ugh.
So
Wow.
because I used to work there, I went there for the the store's Halloween party, and I took my ex-boyfriend there. And my ex-boyfriend had a tortoise as well. So him and this tortoise were just like eye fucking the entire time.
Have you ever heard the sounds that tortoises make when they fuck?
Yeah, you want to recreate it for us just in case I forgot?
Oh, absolutely. It goes
go for it.
kind of like. That last one was me coming.
It goes.
So
It goes, hey babe,
Yeah.
why don't you go get the door? And then it goes, God of War on it. There you go. That's what they sound like. Definitely Google what it sounds like and play it on like your Alexa.
Oh, and then
Oh yeah.
and then the
We'll
best
let
part
everybody
is
know.
that sound was the sounds they used for the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Really?
Fact check that. That sounds false.
Fact check me all you want.
I'm not gonna.
You think I'm gonna
Okay,
There's like
cool.
one.
Are you okay over there, Tyler? Are you getting?
Oh no. I'm this is great. I'm just like
What were you guys talking about again, Tyler?
Yeah.
oh, Braden's right. Yes, they did.
Oh, no way.
The Velociraptors.
How do you know that?
Yeah, they got the. Oh, dude, they would get them deboned and then record it. Yo,
Steven Spielberg, my guy.
Hardcore.
Spielberg's into some freaky shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he is.
Man,
He wanted some
Dude, he's crawling on the bottom of the
authenticity.
ocean trying to find mermaids.
wait, is he the one that did Star Wars?
No.
That's Lucas. Oh, he
No,
was
that's
also into some
Lucas.
freaky stuff.
Well, yeah, that's Lucas.
Yeah.
Once he had money, he was like, ooh.
Did you know they don't wear bras in space?
So many
Because they don't. Whatever. Suck my dick.
It flows together like poetry.
Stop it.
Braden, you're so good at
That's
instigating
kind
people.
of my
I
point,
love
dude.
it.
That's what I do.
Oh god. Okay. Anyways,
It keeps us away from the main topic.
yes.
Which I still don't even know what
Yes.
it was, by the way. You guys doing?
It was about her show.
We're fire hosing her with questions about her
sweet.
podcast.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it. I am
We
the
were joking.
captain now because apparently you don't know how to steer this ship.
Well, no, you keep derailing it. You're like I could boot you from the ship and then it won't get
Dude,
derailed
if you didn't
anymore.
If you didn't
don't
want
wanna
to
do it.
mutiny me, if you didn't want me to mutiny, you shouldn't have tempted me, dude.
Tyler's so tempting.
Wait. Let's see. Can he talk anymore?
Oh.
Can you guys hear him?
Hang
You're
on.
muted.
That's right.
You should have deafened him too.
Should I just
I
ask
couldn't,
myself questions?
No,
No,
not allowed,
I got
not
it. I
allowed.
got it. We're going back. Okay.
Yes,
no.
sir.
Anyways, Ashley. So, with the guests that you've interviewed so far for their passions, are there any particular passions or people that you want to interview? What is the topic that you'd be interested in learning more? And then, have you looked up anybody that you'd want to talk to about that
Yes.
topic?
So basically, how I find my people is for the first 6 or 7, they're actually people I know. And then I started reaching out to people on TikTok, and I actually got some responses. So then I got really like excited. But basically, the weirder, more obscure it is that you can just tell someone loves it, the better. So, for example, let me find this one person on TikTok. She creates vintage-inspired lamps. I thought I saved her stuff, but maybe I didn't. But basically, she'll have like a form, like a lamp form, like the metal part underneath the lamp, and then she'll hand sew the fabric on top of it, and it's like looks like something out of a movie. And she makes money off of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, that is so cool. She adds all the trimming herself. She outsources all her fabric. She makes it, and you can just see it. And that's like really cool. Something that I've always wanted to look up, but just haven't really had the chance to. I don't really know how to look this up. Is someone that does taxidermy for like a living.
Oh, I can actually hook you up with a few people. I actually know quite a few.
DM me. And I'll totally do it, because I think that is awesome. I think that is such a cool and like unique. Oh, I almost want to say useless skill, but if you're making money off of it, there's no such thing. But I just think like a skill that's like, oh my gosh, wait, what? Because I've never heard of anyone that does that. Or
in September down in Utah, if you go to the Curiosity or Oddities and Curiosities Expo, they will be teaching a taxidermy class if you want to like get into it.
I have no idea how you would ever get into something like that. It's like you wake up one day and you're like, oh, you see that dead raccoon on the side of the road? I want to put that on a stilt and make it like flip you off. Like, that's so cool.
Like if you go to Nature, I believe it's in, I want to say it's close to Draper, but they have like museum quality specimens and skeletons and human remains, but they have a bunch of like mice that they have put in circus poses.
Yes.
So they're like doing trapeze.
Oh my God.
Yes. I saw this one picture of a taxidermied rat that was like on a pole dancer's pole, and like all of its 6 nipples had little pasties on them.
Oh like, shit! Yeah, little red is great prepping.
Oh gosh, that's
I think
hilarious.
the more interesting the passion is, I think the better. But I always want to make sure I have a balance of things that people might be a little more, used to seeing around. So that's where I have like the photography, what else have I even done episodes on? A little bit more of like the photography, the art, the exercise science one, the sewing, or things that are a little bit more like that. So I have like a pottery episode where I interviewed someone that has a pottery class and teaches pottery, and I was like, yeah, that's something that people can get into just even as like a hobby, but it would be awesome like for people to be interested in someone's services or resources with that.
Yeah, because you don't want to throw your listeners into the deep end. You got to ease them into the deeper water. So at first you're doing photography, and then the next step it's a little weirder, then the next step's a little weirder. And then, like, eventually they're in the deep end and they don't even know how they got there.
Yeah. And I try to title all of my episodes pretty straightforward so they know what they are listening to, or they can search for something that might pique their interest a little bit more than others. So with my first episode, which is ASL interpreting, I interviewed one of my old coworkers that is receiving her master's at one of the most accredited interpreting universities in the country. It's in Washington, D.C., but she speaks 4 languages, and her favorite of her languages that she speaks is American Sign Language. And listening to her talk about that, I mean, we're already good friends, so that chemistry was really nice. But just hearing her like pop off about a community and a culture that I don't feel like a lot of people are used to interacting with, I think was also very important to get across as well.
Oh.
Yeah. I really like how you have this like. You like to exemplify joy and how people demonstrate joy, because you are right. You know, it is super contagious, and when someone's super like thrilled about something, most of the time, most normal people are like, oh, you know, that's awesome. Every now and then you do have an asshole who's kind of like, I want to shit on that.
Calling the kettle black.
I don't do it that often. It's only when people are dumb.
Well, that's like a special kind of dumb, you know, people who are just ignorant. I guess, right?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I was just about to say, I've gotten very good at like finding that exact moment where I could tell where Tyler has completely lost interest and has just shut down, and he's not even in his head because I've been talking to him too much.
Unfortunately, that has happened a few times even with me, but I just catch myself. I try to, because I can't ask good questions if I'm not paying attention, or I think you can kind of tell when someone's not actually that interested in the conversation, or like a lot of people are smarter than me. So they'll talk about things or concepts or phrases or words that I don't really understand. And that happened a lot with my episode 9, Ancient Languages, because the guy, I've been following him on TikTok for a really long time. And he was completely knowledgeable. He knew what he was talking about. And he would say things that seemed common knowledge, or maybe he thought was common knowledge, and I was just like, what?
And it was just outside of your frame
it was
of reference,
outside
though,
what
you know?
I was used to listening to and learning about, but it was still something that I was like, hey, this is really cool. But
and then,
you're
like,
gonna have to give me a second to process that.
I think it's always good to try to keep your horizon open like that, and because there's a lot of stuff that you kind of shut yourself out from, and you live in your own little bubble.
And then there's a lot of hobbies where their own language kind of devolves from the hobby. So someone could be talking to you, and if he starts saying things like two down, squid, motard, like, he thinks it's just a normal word, but because you don't own a motorcycle, you have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, of course. That happens recently with the people with the photographers that I interview. I try to give them a chance to say, hey, what equipment do you use? Like, shout out your favorite equipment, lenses, whatever else. And then they're saying these names of equipment that I don't understand. And one of the times I totally got called out. The girl that did my commercial photography, I was like, hey, like, you know, shout out your favorite brands or companies and just like give them whatever you need, whatever you like. And she goes, oh, no one cares about that. And I was like, oh, wait. But someone might be looking at your pictures and saying, I wonder what lens she used for this shot or what editing software she uses. But she was like, no one cares. And I was like,
I remember that episode.
It felt so bad. It's like, someone does, I promise.
She's like, either I use the standard, in which case they're already using it, or else I'm using something that isn't standard and everyone has an opinion on it.
Yeah. I was like, just give you, I did it with my wedding photographer girl, and she just went off and said everything. And then this other one was like, no one cares what equipment I use. And I was like, okay, sorry.
That was really funny. Like, I remember listening to that. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Coming out the gate.
Man, I'm like, I'm the only one who gives a shit.
Yeah. So maybe that question needs to be phased out of my rotation, but I don't know. I thought it was a good question. What equipment do you use to get your shots?
No,
and she's like, no one cares.
You know.
I'm looking at. Yeah.
I would say that, like, a lot of people trying to get people into a hobby, those people who they're trying to get in, they aren't concerned about brands. They're more concerned with, what do you think I need to get started?
Yeah, that's a really good one. I don't think I've asked that before. Like, what do you need to get started with your passion? But, I'm just going to write that down.
No.
I love how you're just casually sending us these
Taxidermy?
weird ass like pictures in our chat.
Rabbit holes.
Yeah,
You got me
I
on it.
wanted to comment on it, but it was like, okay.
Why they do
That's
my boy
hilarious.
Raphael like that?
You
Lava Raphael. Yeah, for those that don't know, I'm posting really bad taxidermy right now. So it started out with like rats in circus poses with like pasties and big hats on, and then I just filmed this actual turtle posed and dressed up as Raphael Ninja Turtle.
I'll link it on the Instagram. Like I'll save some of these and put it on the Instagram
really
page when I promote this episode. It will be, yeah, it'll be awful.
He'll use that as like your little guest part of the thumbnail.
Like introducing Ashley, and it's just a bad taxidermy animal. Wait, so speaking of bad taxidermy animals, so I lived in Canada for a bit, and there's this thing when you go and visit Banff. It's the Banff mermaid. Locals will probably say I'm doing this wrong, but excuse me, I went there once. There's like this Banff mermaid, and it's in this gift shop where there's like a picture of Marilyn Monroe standing next to a bear, and in this little case you can see this mermaid. And I'm gonna try and find a picture of it because it is the grossest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like it's two
like
animals combined. Yeah, monkey with
like
a fish.
So yeah, this is it. I found it. Oh, it's disgusting. So I saw this thing live IRL, and it's disgusting. It's gross. It looks like paper mache, and it probably is, but it's nasty. Hey, I'm gonna.
Very important question.
Yes, sir.
What did it smell like?
It smelled like every single antique store. But it's also behind glass, but this is like the postcard.
Oh my god.
John, you like one of your fish girls.
You saw that?
Yeah, so there's like this article that's posted next to it. I'll see if I can find a good picture of that. And it's like, oh, it was found in the waters in Lake Louise in Banff, Alberta. And it's like, no, it wasn't. You totally just like glued a monkey to a fish, like totally Gravity Falls style. That's what you did. That's exactly what you did, dog.
The face is shaped like a rock.
Is it a rock shaped like a face? Or a face shaped like a rock?
Oh,
it's a rock. It's just a rock.
It's a metaphor.
It's a rock.
No, I think it's a metaphor.
The rock can be
just
a
like
metaphor. Don't you know?
So this is my standard of taxidermy is this Banff mermaid.
Okay. Oh my god, that's just so weird.
It's really uncanny.
It is. Mermaid. Oh my god, monkey mermaid, y'all. Oh.
Okay, one more of its face, because you haven't seen its face yet. One more of its mug. Check out my mug.
Oh, Jesus.
The face only a mother could love.
Tag them.
It's
cute.
Dumb hair, too. Why does it have a head of hair? Like a freshly born blonde child.
I don't know if you know this, but like most monkeys and chimps have fur.
But it's not all over its body. It's like a head of hair.
I have a razor.
Yeah, okay. Whenever that thing was alive, if it was alive, I don't think it had a razor.
Whoever like filled it up with cotton balls probably did.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the picture of Marilyn Monroe next to a bear. This is the one that's in the store. So you can see the bear, and then on the wall, it's the picture of Marilyn. And then I posed in front of it like Marilyn, too, and I can't find that picture anymore, so don't ask.
Did you do the two hands down the skirt?
And like the bear's doing a little peekaboo.
Okay.
Just kidding, no.
He looks like he's having a good time.
He looks very kind. Doesn't he look so nice?
Yeah.
Dude, he's happy.
He looks like he's ready to have a drink, and he took a selfie with his buddy.
Yeah. Right before he got shot.
It's the distant cousin to Cocaine Bear.
It's like
Shroom Grizzly.
Canadian bear.
Yeah.
Hey,
Weed
buddy.
bear. Just-
How you doing, eh?
Choked
You
out
just want to
there.
go get some Timmies, eh?
Yeah.
Nice weather we're having, eh?
Yeah,
That's what he says.
Come
Well,
on,
hey
man.
there,
We can go to Tim Hortons.
And they call it Timmy's there. Locals call it Timmy's. So it's, hey there, neighbor. I'm going to go give me a 4x4. You want some, eh? 4x4 is beer.
Do you want to have a rousing discussion about our prime minister's recent blackface allegations?
Allegation. It's all caught on
Oh my
camera. Yeah, just today, he's doing
God.
the blackface theory. Oh, nasty stuff, eh? Yeah.
Yay. You think he's Norwegian, eh?
Norwegian, eh?
He said it
Yeah.
was just for Halloween, and he was 11.
Oh my.
The-
Oh.
The part of Canada I lived in, they didn't like him because they took oil from their province and would sell it at a higher cost, making them poorer, apparently. They're like, oh, we don't
Oh my
like
God.
Justin. He resources out our oil. Eh?
Eh?
Yeah.
Do they ever stop doing road construction in Quebec? Eh?
Yep.
Oh man. Do you watch
No, what
Letterkenny
is
at all,
that?
Ashley?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If you lived in
Yeah,
Canada,
you need to watch
to watch it. It's
Okay.
really good.
It's like a rite of
has,
passage.
like,
Yeah.
it's rednecks, but the writing is tighter. Like,
But Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadian
Rednecks,
next. Oh, that's
so-
cute. What province does it take place in?
yeah, it's literally, it's
Letterkenny.
literally like this place
Not a
is too
province,
small.
dude. That's gonna be like a. Wait,
like
what's
a
Yeah.
little town, but
Letterkenny?
here, Letterkenny, Canada.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's
Canada province.
Toronto, but could be wrong.
Toronto?
Well, no, they're close to Tibet,
Tibet?
Quebec.
Quebec.
Tibet. Yeah, they're really close to
Quebec?
the Tibet.
Yeah,
No, to them
gonna be on the
Quebecers is what they
east.
call them.
I lived west. I lived in Alberta, so I was west.
Okay,
How
so
was
yeah,
the how
Well,
was
I mean,
the dire wolves?
it's in between.
The direwolf. I would
You
go
get
out
the
and hunt with
direwolf.
them every full moon.
Yeah. Did you get decent cable in your igloo?
Yeah, unless the geese are on the roof.
Oh yeah, those fucking geese.
You gotta go chase them off them darn honkers. No, they use like really weird slang, like old people slang. So they would be like, "Oh, come into my foyer and sit on my Chesterfield," and I was like, "What?"
I was about to say, like, aren't you used to chasing honkers? So
Hey, yeah, no, they're everywhere up there. And what's another weird thing they would say? I don't know. Poutine was better than I thought it would be, but it ain't no
I was
animal.
about to say, if you're about to talk shit on poutine, I will square up.
No, it was better than I thought, but I
You know
still like
that,
animal
Vivian.
style fries best. So when people ask, like, "Oh, what is it?" I'm like, "It's basically animal style, but it's not animal style."
Yeah.
Well, it's like more of like a gravy
and animal
esque
style
based
doesn't have
type of
that,
deal.
but it has fries as a base and cheese, and then just this
It's
gravy.
Yeah.
cheese curds though, so it would be
Yeah.
like if you took
It's
all the breading
squeaky
off a
cheese.
mozzarella stick.
Well, that's mozzarella. It's what is squeaky cheese? What's the base of cheese for squeaky cheese?
I think it's just like a general unflavored one. I think it's a pretty
Flavored
simple one.
cheese. New cheese just
Unflavored.
dropped.
New
I'll
cheese
Google
just
real quick.
dropped. Babe,
What
wake
are
up! We're
cheese
opening the American
Huh.
cheese cave.
Yeah, yo. Curds that are ultra fresh cheese bits, known for their squeaky texture and sound.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna be
Squeaky.
like
You
that's
bite on it,
completely
and your
fresh.
molars
So.
are just like. There you go.
Yeah, have
like
you
a
ever
little-
chewed on a? You've ever
Oh.
chewed on a bouncy ball?
Have you ever chewed on a
Yes.
pencil? The rubber eraser of a
Oh
pencil.
God, no.
You know what? We can stop.
Yeah, I
beating
can't
around the
think of
bush.
it.
Tyler, do you remember when you chewed on the head of my cock?
Braden. You know, it's been years.
We lived that
I'm
night
sorry.
every night in
I
my
was
bed
curious.
and just reminisce from the time
Yeah.
that you chewed on my dick.
The only thing that I care about is
Yes.
the knowledge about whether or not it takes place in your wet dreams or your nightmares.
Oh, I tried to type in poutine and I typed Putin instead.
Yeah,
Well, you know, it's the same
Close
thing.
enough.
poutine, black bread, it's all in the same food family.
Wait, I don't know how to spell it. I typed in poutine and a turkey showed up.
P-O-U?
P-O-U? Oh, that's
Yeah.
my mistake then.
Yeah.
I found it.
And then
Apparently without the O, it's a type
right?
of bird. A turkey?
Oh.
Gobble gobble.
Do you want to learn
No,
about
I
the
want you to ask
Kentish
me another
plover?
question though.
I
let's do
actually,
that.
I actually have a,
Good
I
idea.
actually have a question I was curious about. Right?
Do it.
So, have people told stories about like what was their first experience in a hobby or what got them into the hobby, and were there any of those stories that really like stuck out?
Yes. So that's usually one of my first questions is how did you get into this? How did you get into this? What got you interested? How did you get started? Basically because I believe that those stories are could be pretty relatable. People can relate to, oh, I was a kid and my mom gave me a camera for Christmas and I never stopped taking pictures since. Or to go off of my the one on falconry, episode 8 of mine is actually my brother, my older brother. And he has been doing falconry for 15 years, something crazy like that. But how he got started, I actually know because I was there. My parents like pets, like animals. They like all that stuff. Hence why I worked at a pet shop at one point. But it kind of snowballed from where, he had a parakeet to, we had an owl at one point and a falcon and, other birds of prey like that. I can't even think of another bird of prey. Owls are usually the most common, falcons, and what's the other type of bird? Cut this out. Make it sound like
No, don't cut it. Don't cut it.
Falcons, owls, and you can't do eagles. They're protected.
Yeah.
Falcons. What's a smaller type of falcon called?
A sparrow.
No, small fowl. Yes, hawks.
A hawk?
Oh my goodness, you got it.
There you go.
And kestrels are usually the type that people start out with, are those smaller birds like kestrels. And you can find them all over Utah, all over Idaho. The American kestrel is really easy to spot. And we had one slam into our window at one point when I was just, I think, in elementary school. And my brother at that point was probably early high school. And so we were nursing this little kestrel back to health. And I think at that point, my brother was looking more into falconry as a hobby, just Googling it, trying to talk to people and mentors. But that was one of the times of my life where I was like, yeah, this is something he's going to do forever. And he lives with his partner right now. And together they have a few birds, a falcon, a kestrel, and an owl, I think. And then they have 3 cats together. But I think those stories of how did you get started has always been a good influence and a good frame of reference to just be like, hey, I think this is going to be, this is going to be something that I can find a lot of joy in. Or a lot of people want to make money as a side hustle. So, I think this is something I could potentially make some money off of. I'm going to invest more time and passion into this.
Well, and I've actually seen your brother's falcon, and I've talked to him a few times at my various places that I explore. And full props to him; he's excellent.
He is excellent. He's been doing it forever. He used to volunteer at the Lehigh Museum of History, where his falconry mentor was for a bit. His name is Ben. He's pretty big, apparently, in the Utah birds of prey community.
Yeah, he used to go around to different schools.
Yeah, and my brother used to do that.
Impress little elementary schoolers.
Yes. So if you listen to that episode, we mention a Utah-based theme park that shall not be named. Ben and my brother used to do animal shows at that. not to mention.
Whatever part could you have been talking about?
You know, that one, don't. That one. So that's where they used to work together before it went downhill.
Downhill, more like over Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah, you know, the one that Kanye went to and didn't like, apparently. The one that BuzzFeed went to and they didn't even air the episode on. There's the YouTube documentary about it. It has 7 million views and it's only 9 months old. And it's all about the park.
Okay, good to know.
It's an interesting watch if you ever want to just like mindlessly watch something about a park that sucks.
I mean, I mindlessly watch a lot of shit. So
that's my favorite kind of content is just mindless YouTube documentaries about stuff I don't understand. Yep.
Went down a rabbit hole over the weekend, and apparently once the shit gets here, I'm about to start getting into cloning plants.
That's
because
cool.
My shit hobbies weren't weird enough. Now I gotta get into cloning them.
No, that's cool. My girlfriend's dad is a plant geneticist, so I think that's
neat.
Cool. And he makes huge amounts of money doing it. He goes on sabbaticals across the world. And right now, his past 15-year passion project has been on the benefits of quinoa. So he's been to Tibet and Iceland and Antarctica and Asia and the Middle East just research quinoa. And he gets paid buco bucks to do it.
Oh.
I'm not trying to teach anyone anything. I just have some extraordinarily expensive plants that need to start paying their rent. Because otherwise...
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's the same reason why I gotta get my snake a girlfriend. Everyone's paying rent in this room.
And most women are snakes. It's okay.
Yeah, but mine's just a cute one. It's okay.
Cute little bitch.
Hell.
What was the name of your snake?
Chicken ramen.
Chicken ramen.
Yeah, okay. I found that fitting for that previous comment.
Oh, it does look like a bowl of ramen.
Yeah. I will admit, it is the cutest snake that I have ever seen. And I
love it. And those aren't cheap. Those kind of pythons from, experience working at a pet shop. Those aren't cheap. Mm-hmm. How much was she? 400? More or less.
I was willing to cut a deal because I was talking to a breeder who had just barely gotten started. So I paid about $350.
Oh, dude, that was freaking close. Okay.
It's not an albino ball python. It's a lavender.
No.
It's a lavender.
Well, yeah, albinos have red eyes. Does she have red eyes?
He has the red eyes.
He does.
It's a lavender albino. So the older he gets, instead of the white that you can see, it's going to start turning a really pale purple lavender.
No.
Yeah. And basically, we're going to get him a girlfriend and start making something called creamsicles. And each one of those is $1,500.
And he's going to be making cream pies, but... Sorry, that was... I just thought about that. Because you said creamsicles, and I was like, that's... I'll edit that out. That was bad.
He's just jealous that the snake has 2 dicks.
That's true. Yeah, it's
no one wants to blow.
I'm always reminded Craig Ferguson's comedy bit of do you know how bad it would be for drug companies if humans had 2 dicks? What are the odds that both of them are going to fail? It's okay. We're just switching engines. We're going to get you where you're going.
Oh, man. That kind of... I wanted to make a I'm really derailing this right now. I wanted to make like a mockumentary for a while on Johnny Sins, and I was gonna have it just be around him like going through erectile dysfunction, and how that impacts his life. And I was gonna write like in between
his career as a doctor and his career as an astronaut.
Yeah, and just like how it impacted his life, you know. I always thought like doing a mockumentary like that would be kind of fun. Kind of like the it was on Netflix for a while. The fake documentaries they did with like Bill Hader was in it. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't, to be honest.
Okay, they're pretty funny. I can't remember the name. Anyways, sorry, Ashley.
You're good. I'm still here.
Yeah, because he paid you.
One more question, and then we should probably finish this up because I'm gonna have to leave you in a sec.
I just posted a couple of my other guys at the chat in case you were curious.
Oh, cool.
Okay, go on.
No, Brayden, did you have another question, or was that kind of it?
I'm very fascinated with like very niche hobbies and some things that people get into. So I'm always curious, like I'm always curious about the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
It's like someone buying a plant now all of a sudden owns a cannabis store. So what is like the most interesting point A to point B that you have heard?
Ooh. The first thing that comes to mind are I have 2 episodes where I've done a doula. Do you guys know what doulas are?
No.
No?
I actually don't.
Well, I don't expect you to. You're not a woman. I'm just
You about to tell me about steaming?
No. So doulas are basically like midwives, but they don't do anything medical. So they'll help deliver a baby. If you're doing like a home birth or a hospital birth, they advocate for you. They, like if you're wanting to not have any nurses, they'll help you with that. Or if you're trying to do a home birth and you can't afford a midwife, they'll kind of help you with that kind of stuff. But it's 1, something I've never really heard of. And it's 2, something that I've never thought of looking into. Like, I do want kids at some point in my life, but it's like, oh, I'm just going to go to the hospital and be surrounded by nurses and doctors.
Can't relate.
And now I'm like fully convinced that a doula is like the way to go. And they'll help you with like a birthing plan. They'll help you make sure that your wishes and desires for how your labor goes, it goes that way. So this girl was like, and I don't want to tell her story wrong, so I apologize if I leave out any details, but she had a lot of miscarriages, like in the double digits or soon to be in the double digits of miscarriages. And she was like, I don't really know how to do this, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So I think, and I'm probably going to get this wrong and I apologize, but she was like, I think I just need to do a lot of research. And she just did research on how to like do successful pregnancies. And she came across what a doula's job is. And so she got into being a doula just by researching how to help her lifestyle, I suppose. So I thought that was really interesting. Like, you know, I'm not being successful in my pregnancies. I wonder what I can do to help that. And then she got interested because she found a need within herself and wanted to fill that need in someone else.
It helped carve her path, and that's really nice. That's really cool.
I know, a really serious reason for our really silly conversations we've been having.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens with me a lot.
If you quoted robots earlier, I'm going to assume I'm allowed to do the same thing, and it's see a need, fill a need.
Exactly, 100%. That's a good quote to live by. Thanks, Bigwell.
Yeah. Thank you, Bigwell.
Thank you. What a god amongst men.
Truly. The man we need, but not the man we deserve. Give that man as many fucking dominoes as he needs.
Dude, you're getting into my brain.
Good thing it's for an episode, because otherwise we might have to convert you.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Thank you. I drew it while I was talking. Isn't
That's
that cute?
adorable. I'm gonna start using that for things.
It is. I like it.
Oh, that is adorable.
I can do a better one. Hold on.
Yeah, do the best one.
I'll do the best one. Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
This is going to be the thumbnail for the YouTube
Oh, dude,
video.
that'd be great.
Is that supposed to be his snake that you drew?
Yeah, I
here?
gave him a name up top.
You
Yeah,
did
make that
chicken
the-
ramen. I didn't even see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Make
I just
that
saw
the
the picture.
thumbnail. I'm
and
gonna
was in
crop
trance.
that and then just
I will.
Okay, well, I can do a better one. Just give me a minute. Any other
And
questions?
then
Anything else I can do?
Um.
I'm getting a little hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you know,
get
we're about at the end here. Like it's been about an hour. It's been a
Yeah.
little over an hour.
I just
So
don't want to complain, but I'm a little hungry.
don't worry.
no worries. Like I have to.
Yeah,
get
we
out
got-
here soon. So
Everyone's like, yeah,
we
you're
gotta let
fine.
people with kids do their thing, you know.
Disgusting. Imagine.
yeah,
Continue.
right. It's weird. Well, if you come over Saturday, you'll meet them. So
Yes, I love that. I want to meet them. What are their names again?
Everest is the oldest, and then Rifton's the youngest.
Yeah, you would.
I said the
As you
same
would.
thing. I said the same thing.
Do you know how many dead bodies are on Everest, dude? That's
Yeah,
weird.
man.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's the
He's gonna
that's
be
the
a
idea. I
lady
want his
How
to
many
kill
people have
Yeah,
tried to
ladies.
Mount Everest?
Well, yeah. So that joke will come up.
I'm sorry.
But-
I'm predictable.
I just really hope. No, you're good. I just really hope he isn't like awfully short. I hope he's because I feel like that.
What's
set him up
wrong
for failure.
with being short, huh? What's wrong with that?
Well, if he's
Yeah,
short,
that's
his
that's
name.
literally my last name.
Wait, but
remember?
Tyler, you're
Yeah.
not super short, right?
I'm not, but Maddie's family, they're all kind of.
I was
Yes.
about to say
Wee-wees.
you better call me a king right now, otherwise go suck my dick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, yeah, you know, we already talked about sucking your dick. That's like,
Yeah,
that's,
and,
we're past
and
that,
then we're
so-
going back to the
Past
weekly topic of you fucking my sister.
I will not. Be
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love
there
it.
you
I
go.
love it.
I like that.
Oh,
I
that's
love
cute.
it. Saving those.
Okay, yeah, that'll be the thumbnail.
That's chicken ramen. There you go. What a stud.
Truly the studliest of studs.
Total stud. Okay. All right, Ashley. Well, usually here at the end, we just kind of wrap things up, kind of brief. I'll let you have like, you know, however long you need to shout out your page, your podcast, and
Okay.
your
your
Patreon.
t-shirts.
So
Okay, give me a second. Let me pull up my links. My t-shirts. I don't have t-shirts.
Buy my t-shirts.
no merch yet.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me on, y'all. It's been a pleasure and a half. So I have an Instagram. You can find that at the Passion Pod. It's _passion_pod at Instagram. And on there, my bio, there's a link tree to my website, my Patreon, my Venmo if you want to buy me a drink. And that's about it.
Sweet, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you for being on. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm glad. But seriously, guys, go check out the Passion Podcast. Yeah, and that is the show. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.